All right, we got this ML350 in for an oil leak. I already looked at it and figured out where it's coming from, but now I'm just going to go ahead and look over the rest of the car to see if there's anything else worth addressing. Customer has an aftermarket warranty company, so I'm going to get the whole quote together for anything else it may need and get it all sent off together. So just to look over the rest of the car here. Another thing I noticed too when I was confirming, and it's to clarify, it's these timing covers on the cylinder heads. These metal covers here, they leak oil. You can see the oil coming out the bottom of it there, and how wet like the alternator is and all that stuff is with oil. So the other thing I noticed is the belt riding right on the edge of the tensioner pulley there. The tensioners on these cars, whenever they get weak, they like sag off center, so it presses the belt off center, so you can tell when the tensioners are getting weak. So that's there. It's a bit low on coolant. But I don't see any coolant leaks from up top or anything, and he wasn't complaining of any white smoke at all or anything like that. Let's see, the rest of the engine looks good. Honestly, I don't really see anything else from up here. Okay, I will check the ECU here to make sure there's no oil in it. This engine had a bad problem about internally leaking oil in the wiring harness. So this is the engine computer, and you'll see that some of these little electrical pins will be wet with oil, and they're not. They're totally dry, so that's a good sign. Okay, I'm gonna lift it up now and see if there's anything underneath it that needs to be addressed. Okay, got it up in the air now and went ahead and took off a couple of the undershields because I could see they're wet with oil there, so I don't know if that's the timing covers leaking down or what. But let me start with the suspension because that's normally what I do. So I'm just gonna keep the rhythm here. Check out the axle boots and all these ball joint boots, which all looks good. The shock isn't leaking or anything. That's nice. Let me see this rear bushing on the lower control arm. These rip a bit. You see how it's starting to tear apart? That's not bad enough to address yet. And that's got several more years left on it before it completely rips apart, but just watch for those. That's not that bad. Okay, the suspension over here. This all looks good. Don't see anything worn out here at all. Shock looks good. The front brakes, let me see if I can get a sight on them. Yeah, that's good. Front tires are, I think, 40% tread life. Yeah, the brakes are definitely good. Anyhow, it's hard to see the inside pad, but the outside pad you can get a pretty good reference for. You can see how thick that brake pad is. Okay, now starting on the engine. Yeah, I guess that is just that timing cover dripping all the way down onto all this stuff. Oh, here's the coolant leak. I was looking at that up top. It kind of looked crusty, but here's a drop of coolant. I wonder if that's what this back fluid is, because you can see this pile of oil coming from, you know, the front of the engine here. Oh, well, I guess it'd be at the front too. I guess it's hard to tell because so much of this is so wet, honestly. But this coolant pipe here, you can see around the flange there where like that plastic fitting crimps onto all these rubber hoses that connect to it. And you can see it's been dripping off because there's some liquid coolant right there. So I wonder if that's why the coolant's a bit low. But it would just be, and this whole hose is one piece. So you would just simply replace that hose and refill the coolant and bleed the system, and it'd be good to go. I don't see anything else anywhere as far as coolant goes. Radiator looks good. I don't see anything tripping off anywhere. So hopefully that's all that is. That would be a simple fix. And the rest of this oil, I think all of this is just washing back from the timing cover. It's hard to say. Yeah, it drips off the back of the head too. That's common. It'll follow, like, it'll drip down until it gets to the head gasket seam, and it'll, like, the oil will run across that head gasket seam. So it'll look like the head gasket on the back of the engine is leaking, but like leaking oil, but it's not. It's the timing covers. Here, all this is wet back here too. You can see up there's a bit of the head gasket, and you can see how that would be mistaken for like an external oil leak, which is kind of unheard of from a head gasket, but that's not what it is. Anyways, and this is a lot of oil too, but if there is a second leak, it's going to be impossible to tell anyways with, you know, everything covered in oil. So the only thing to do here is to reseal those timing chain covers and then wash off all this oil from the engine. And then next year on the next service date or whatever, you can monitor for any additional leaks past that. Front differential, it looks good. Those bushings look good. So does this transmission. I was looking at it just a minute ago. Let's see, the front drive shaft. It's good, no play in it at all. Check the transfer case and the transmission mount, that's good. I can feel it has some play in it still, so it's not totally collapsed. No leaks coming from the transfer case at all. The drive shaft feels good. No exhaust rattles or anything. This rubber flex disc, they wear out a lot, but that one looks good. And a tiny oil leak forming here from the input seal in the differential. That's pretty uncommon. You don't see that leak a lot. And that's barely starting to form. I mean, that's not even enough oil to form a droplet, but it is starting to leak clearly. I mean, there's not supposed to be any oil there, so. Check out the rest of the suspension. The axles look good. Sway bars and the struts. All that should dry. All these bushings look good. The ball joints. And all this stuff looks good. Yeah, I don't see anything back here at all either. It's looking like that's all it's gonna be, is that stuff in the front. Check these rear brakes. Oh, they're good too. So are these tires. See if you can get a sight on these pads. Yeah, they're thicker than the fronts even. Yep, this side's the same. Tire tread's good. And that outside pad is good. Yeah, I don't see anything down here. Just the only thing I sort of confirmed from up top is that little coolant leak coming from this hose here. But yeah, so it's basically going to be the timing covers that we already knew about, the timing chain tensioner that we already knew about, and then this coolant hose and a lot of cleaning. So yeah, clean all this off, clean the undershields off, and then at least it'll start with a clean slate, you know, and then I'll know what it looks like. And then next time I get the car, maybe next year for like the service or whatever, I can know that there should be no oil anywhere, and then if there is, then there's another leak somewhere else further down the engine. Because this leak is pretty like top centered on the engine, as you saw, so it's gonna drip onto everything below it. So if there is a leak anywhere below it, you can't tell because it's gonna be covered with oil anyways. All right, so I'll get all this stuff quoted out and get an estimate made for everything and get it sent to the customer and see what we're gonna do.